Welcome to Trackickoffroad, and in today's video I'm going to do a short review on the Smittybilt XRC 9,500 pound winch. So this winch being a Gen 2 means it's a little bit older, but it means you can still get them and they're a little bit cheaper. And if you don't need a 12,000 pound winch, I think this winch is perfect for you. I have this winch on my 97 Geo Tracker, which is on Toyota axles and 38-inch swampers, and the winch has done great on this rig. And if you have a Geo Tracker or a Wrangler or something, even a Toyota pickup, I used to have this on a Toyota pickup, and it's been a great winch. So out of the box for around, I see them for right around $300 to about $240. You obviously get your winch, a hook, steel cable, the controller box, and a wired controller. It's not wireless. The lever for the clutch, pretty easy to use, especially because it's, well, maybe I lied. Well, you know, it's been in the elements, but it still works pretty great. So yeah, if you got a winch cover on it and you keep it greased, it'll work better. So I've pulled this Geo out of many holes, and there are many obstacles with that winch. Pulled out many people with that winch, and it is not once overheated or given me any issues. But there is one problem I've had. We'll discuss that now. So on this XRC Gen 2, I have a problem with where you plug in your winch controller. You see, it is kind of broke away. You know, the plastic's broke and the screws have stripped out. And it's been, you know, it's not a huge issue, but it allows water to get in. It doesn't make it waterproof. This isn't a waterproof winch anyway. But I have owned 2 of these winches, and this happens with every one of them. So what I would do is probably silicone it and glue it in there. That's probably the best fix. But for the money, I mean, it beats the Harbor Freight 12K, I think. But it depends on what you're using it for and how much you need to pull. So the winch controller plugs in with ease. Just pull that. Line it up, clip it in, it's good to go. So the winch controller cable is probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 feet. I didn't measure, but it's plenty. It's nice because it's magnetic. So if you're like me and like to control your winch from inside the cab, it just sticks wherever you need it. This metal, thankfully I have a cage and I can, you know, put it wherever it's needed, and you don't lose it in the mud. It sticks to a body. It does not stick to aluminum though. The controller's simple to use. It's out, in. That's it. It has never failed me. Another benefit to this winch is very easy to install. You don't need to take it to some shop to install it on your $60,000 JK. You just pull out of the box. The instructions are really good. Everything's color coded from red, black, yellow, and they're all labeled with a letter on each wire to what's going to go to your negative cable, your positive cable, you know, and where you're going to ground it to your chassis. It's all there. It's pretty simple to do. You don't need to hire somebody to do it. You can do this in, I don't know, 30 minutes at home with basically just a set of open-end wrenches. It comes with all the necessary hardware to mount it, so you don't have to go digging through your bolt drawer, go buy them. It comes with all 4 bolts and nuts that you need, and bolts right up. So overall, the price on this winch is great. It's probably one of the cheapest ones on the market for a smaller 4x4. You wouldn't want to use this on, you know, a big 3/4 ton pickup or your big square body Chevy. It needs to be on something small, something where it's about double the weight. It can pull double the weight of what your vehicle weighs. This winch, like most others, this runs on a 12-volt system. You don't need, you know, a fancy 2-battery setup or anything. I just have a small factory style geo-tracker battery in here, and it powers this winch just fine. So if you're looking for a winch on a budget for your small 4x4, this is probably the perfect option for you. And if you want synthetic cable, swap it to synthetic cable. You can still find these really cheap, and I will link a few websites where I found them cheap. I've put this winch through a lot of abuse. I have buddies that own the same winch, and they've put theirs through a lot of abuse, and I highly recommend it. And I will buy another one if I ever get another geo-tracker. It may not have the speed of a Warren, but it'll get the job done. It does what you need it to do, and really, who cares about the speed as long as it's doing the work for you? Because I mean, you're out on the trail having a good time anyway. Might as well, you know, just have fun and not spend $1,000 on a super fancy winch when this one will do the same for under $400. In my case, the only thing I would do differently with this winch is locate the controller box inside the engine bay and have a place to plug in the winch controller somewhere else, just to keep this out of the elements. I don't, you know, it doesn't really matter, but it's not waterproof. Second thing I would change is, well, and I will eventually change, is go to a synthetic rope. Once you do that, you want to make sure it's covered and taken care of. But the only reason I'd want to do that is for the safety and the benefits to synthetic line. I should mention that when you do buy your new winch, it does come with a roller Fairlead because it is a cable driven winch. It's not synthetic, so it doesn't have a Haas Fairlead. So it comes with a roller Fairlead. It won't look like this. This one was already on here and I didn't want to cut it off and re-weld the new one on. So yours will look a lot prettier for a lot longer. I couldn't tell you what brand this one is. So if you're in the market for a winch, you're shopping around, I give this one, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's been a good winch for the money. It's got its flaws, but you know, the one flaw it's got is this, and it's fixable. And I don't think they're ever gonna go correct it because they have new winches coming out probably every year. But for the money, this thing's been great. It's got me out of a lot of crazy situations, and I'm happy with it. So I recommend buying it. So I hope this helped point you in the direction of purchasing your new winch. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more of the Geo Tracker and you know, some Grand Wagoneer content. Have a good one.